Girl Meets World is just starting, and so are we. And now, here are the two guys who are going to talk about Girl Meets World and make this podcasting world their own. I'm Zach Brooks, and I'm joined by Ryan Pappolla. Ryan?
How's it going, Zach? This is an exciting day, not just for us, but for the world.
Yeah, I mean, we were so excited about Girl Meets World that we are here 24 hours before it even premieres on TV.
I'm not sure if we're in the future or the past, but it's one of the two, and I love it either way.
Yeah, and we're either in Corey's world or Riley's world, or we're meeting somebody's world tonight, right?
Indeed, yeah, but it should be good stuff.
Yeah, so if you are watching this live and you have not yet watched the Girl Meets World premiere, we both recommend that you go and watch that. And you can do so by going to watchdisney.com, which was my first time going to Watch Disney. Was it your first time at Watch Disney?
It was my first time ever at Watch Disney, and possibly my last, but it wasn't an awful experience.
That website was terrifying. There is way too bright, like young people.
It was very purple, I will say.
Yeah, very purple. So I'm glad that our lower thirds on the YouTube video are matching that theme.
Yeah, well, it was a must. Yeah. I will say if we give them one bone, the website was easy to use, so we'll take it.
Yeah. Oh, no, it was great. And if you're watching this after Friday, June 27th, the show airs Friday, June 27th at 9:45 p.m., which is a kind of a weird time to start. It's weird to start that late, and also weird to start at 9:45.
Very, very strange. I guess it's premiering after like a popular movie that the children are going to enjoy, but I feel like maybe they're going to go to bed after this film. I like that it's on Fridays because of the TGIF callback.
Oh, yeah.
Boy Meets World used to be on at 9:30, I think, for a period of time, but still, this isn't the same audience, so it kind of gives me the willies at the same time.
Is it going to be at 9:45 every day or every Friday?
I sure hope not, Zachary. I'm guessing it will move to 9:30. I hope it moves to like 8. I think if you really want to give it a chance to succeed, it's got to be on a little earlier, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, this show is clearly marketed at a younger audience than us. And I guess also marketed at us. And so if you are listening live, you can get your comments and questions on the show using the hashtag PSRecaps. You also can use the chat function on the postshowrecaps.com page. And also you can leave your comments on the YouTube video as well. And after the show airs, continue to leave your comments and tweet using hashtag PSRecaps, and we will get those questions read live at the end of the show.
Going to be good stuff.
So should we dive into it? Should we dive into the plot points?
I think I've been waiting 14 years for this moment, so yeah, let's dive in.
I was really excited when they announced this. And I became less excited when I found out it was going to be a Disney Channel show. I was hoping it would be like an ABC TGIF show, but overall, I still enjoyed it. It was pretty good.
Yeah, no, I liked it. I have a few, fundamental concerns, but ultimately, I thought this was a good 6.5, 7 out of 10 start. But I saw possibilities that it could grow quickly, if that makes sense, and become a lot better really quickly.
Well, and I feel like whenever you see any sitcoms, the first episode is always a lot different than the show ends up. Seinfeld or Friends, or the characters change, the characters develop, new characters are added, so the show might not look exactly how this premiere looked.
I agree.
I
agree. Yeah.
So we start off with Riley and Maya sitting in the bay windows in Corey and Topanga's house, discussing how to sneak out of the house, and we get our first look at the new child of Corey and Topanga's, and where she is. How old is she? 12?
We're gonna say 13. We'll say 13.
Yeah. I think I heard in an interview that they're in 7th grade.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's got to be right around the range.
And that's probably about how old Corey was when Boy Meets World started, too?
Yeah, I mean, they played pretty fast and loose, though, with the years and the ages after that. Like, they were in 7th grade and then they were in 12th. But yeah, I will say that Corey started as, 12 or 13 years old. Absolutely, yeah. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
And so we get Corey coming into the room, stopping them from sneaking out. He knew Riley's plan because they're so similar to each other. What did you think of Corey coming onto screen and we get the live studio audience cheering? There's heavy cheese factor there.
But I love that stuff. It's like it was a cool moment. I thought that moment was great. I didn't think the scene. I thought the opening scene was the worst scene of the episode. It felt rushed and it felt kind of jankety. But I love the cheese factor. You know.
Yeah, I really had no idea what was going on at first.
Yeah.
On my second viewing of the episode, I understood it a lot more. But I mean, this was like, this isn't Game of Thrones. This isn't Lost. Like, it shouldn't be confusing.
Yeah, it's to me, and I don't know this. I think I read a few times that the pilot, much like any pilot, went through a lot of changes, and I think they did a lot of reshoots. I think there was even like another sibling at one point that they cut completely. May he rest in peace. But I think the opening scene was clear that the script had went through a lot of changes, and this was just kind of finally thrown at the wall and it stuck.
Yeah. So they're trying to sneak out. Corey catches them. Then Topanga comes in, and we, I don't know if that feedback is on my end or your end. You hear that?
Yeah, possibly mine. It should get a little better. I think we're good.
All right. So Corey and Topanga come into the room, stop the kids from sneaking out, and then they still let them go.
Yeah, that was good, right?
So then, like, the next scene, they're on the subway anyways. It's like, oh, you tried to sneak out, ha ha ha, go out the front door.
It was all very strange. Like, they kept preventing it, but they're on the subway throughout the entire episode.
And then, not to skip ahead too much, but the end of the episode, the big thing is that they give her a subway card, but she was on the subway in the
legally so. Yeah, in the middle. The plot was the weakest part of the episode, but I think, like you said at the top, like, that's going to happen in the pilot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anything else from that first opening scene that you noticed?
I like the cheese, and I think Ben Savage doesn't look old, but he looks different. But Danielle Fishel, it's a grand slam.
Oh, she looks great.
Yeah.
I know she's kind of had her ups and downs since the show ended, but I was impressed. She looks very nice.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Not the strongest start of a scene, but I think it got better as we went along.
Yeah, I was really struck in this scene with Corey's nose. Did he get a nose job?
It's all possible, Zach.
It's like my friend compared his nose to Pinocchio. Like it's really like a ledge.
Yeah, it's that's pretty good. It's possible. Also, Ben Savage's voice changed. I think he may have gone through puberty twice.
Yeah. I guess that's what happens 14 years after these characters go off the air.
Yeah, I mean, but I think we'll get more. I have a few notes on Ben Savage. I should state that Corey Matthews is my all-time favorite television character, so I will probably be a little harder. That's serious. So I'll probably be a little harder on Corey than I am the rest of the show. But those are notes for later on.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's keep going on this. So we get to the subway. They're at the Bleecker Street subway. Are you in New York?
No, I'm a Connecticut guy who's terrified of New York, so no.
Okay. So I think Bleecker Street's in Brooklyn, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, so they live in Brooklyn, and Maya and Riley go down to the subway, and they walk past a guy playing the drums, and then two older women. Could you catch what the two older women said to them?
No.
I watched it like 3 times, and they walked past me and said something. I have no idea what they said to him. It's like inaudible or whatever.
it's also inedible. It'll be paid off. It'll be paid off in the finale, surely.
Yeah, that's like the Rosebud of Girl Meets World.
It's a master plan.
Yeah. And then we get onto the subway and we're introduced to Lucas, the new boy in town.
Good-looking kid, as Ben says later on in the episode. I'm not convinced. I'm not sold on him as an actor quite yet.
No, that kid is like looks fake or something. I feel like.
Yeah. No, I agree. That's I think the fundamental difference between Boy Meets World and Girl Meets World is like a character like Lucas has to be on this show this day and age. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, I mean, is he like the Sean character of Girl Meets World?
I think Maya is the Sean character of Girl Meets World. I'm imagining he's Topanga.
Oh. All right. I see. I guess that makes sense. I thought he was the Sean character, but yeah, maybe you're right.
We'll see. It's too early to tell.
Yeah. So they meet Lucas on the subway. I guess I don't know. This must just be a different day than the day when they're in school, right?
Yeah. No, I think I think it's same day, and if so, Lucas should be ashamed of himself because he's quite late to class. I mean, he got there with the rest of them.
Well, he's the new kid. He might be on Central Time still. He's from Texas.
It's all it's possible. But yeah, that was a little bit of a disconnect, but I'm assuming it was the same day.
Okay, so they meet him. Maya goes and sees him and goes through all the stages of a breakup with him. She meets him, she falls in love with him, then she breaks up with him, and then gives him to Riley.
Yeah.
Gives him to Riley, like so nice of her. What a good friend.
Yeah, it's the first half of the episode was weaker than the second half. Like that scene was fine. You know, it's like, but especially on first watch a couple months ago. I think I watched it about a month ago now. It's like I was like, oh wait, you know, I wasn't drastically impressed, but it's cute. You know, it was cute enough.
Yeah, they really fall around the subway a lot. It was kind of I was worried for their safety a little bit. As somebody who rides the metro every day, like you shouldn't be flying all over this public transportation, right?
We've taken some liberties with the diametrics of travel.
Yeah, there's a huge stunt budget for this show, I guess.
Top of the line.
So, did you recognize the woman who came and wanted to get a seat next to Lucas?
Sister, baby.
Yep, the mom from Sister is in this show.
And I hope she's recurring. I didn't think she was. She had some good lines at the end of the episode. Do you think she's just always going to be on the subway with them?
I think she's going to be maybe like the Mr. Feeney character.
Yeah.
Like the external character who's the voice of reason. I think she's going to be on the show every episode though.
I hope so. I won't be crushed if she's not, but it's a nice touch, you know.
I thought it was great. I thought it was a great callback to the great TGIF sitcoms. I hope we see more. Maybe we can see like Cody from Step by Step and some of the other great TGIF actors.
If we get Urkel or Candace Cameron, shut it down, Zach.
Oh man. So then we finally get the theme song. So this was all cold open. This was like 6 minutes of a 20-minute show was spent in the intro.
I like the theme song. I might be alone. At least I like it.
Is that an actual song?
Yeah, that's the girls. Those are the two girls singing it.
Oh, they're singing the song. Yeah,
I think it's more Maya than Riley. Apparently, she was signed to some record label beforehand. It's not going to be listening to when I'm working out, but it's a pleasant enough song.
It's like you're going to put the sunroof back, blast it when you're driving. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I didn't like it the first time because I like the original Boy Meets World song, but then the second time I watched this episode, I was like, this is kind of catchy. I could see this being like a Miley Cyrus, like an early Miley Cyrus song.
Yeah, and that's what this show is going for, on a lot of levels. So I like it.
There is a line in this episode where they say it's just Riley being Riley. So that's clearly a callback to Miley Cyrus.
Yeah, without question.
Yeah. So then we get to class, and Corey is his daughter's teacher.
What do we think about this, Zach?
I don't like this.
I don't like this either. I keep trying to like it. I mean, this was the premise of the show, I think, since it was conceived, that Corey would be the teacher. And I think I've been trying for 6 months or however long it's been to convince myself I like this. But I don't think I like it. Corey shouldn't have been a teacher.
I like that Corey's a teacher because, he's been influenced by Mr. Feeney. You can see, he calls everybody by, Mr. and then their last name, just like Mr. Feeney. So that I like that. What I don't like is that it's just, I don't know, it just sets up too many weird situations, and if this show goes multiple seasons, I guess it's the way it was with Mr. Feeney. He'll just be their teacher. He'll just keep moving up, and he's an 8th grade teacher now, and now he's a high school teacher.
I think you're right when it says it's going to get old quick, I fear.
We also kind of are not going to get a balance of Corey and Topanga, and you really felt it in this episode. I feel like Topanga was barely in the episode.
She is, and I know a lot of people I've talked to who have watched it are concerned that Topanga has the "and" credit in the opening credits, which I don't think that's too much to worry about. I think often I can be fact-checked on this. Like, I think a lot of actors want the "and" credit. I think it pays more, and I think it's like a bit of distinction. But either way, I agree with you that the show is going to be about Riley and Corey 90% of the time, I think.
Yeah, I think the "and" credit, if you're not going to get the first credit, the "and" credit is probably the second best one. It's like the Heather Locklear on Melrose Place.
Yes.
Like,
absolutely. Yeah, no, 100%. But yeah, I mean, that's one of my bigger notes for going forward. Next time we do one of these, whenever it is, if we ever do it again, is that like, let's see. Hopefully by episode 5, 6, 7, Topanga has a much more vital role than she did in this one. And granted, it's the pilot, so we got to wait and see.
Yeah, I mean, and look, we just didn't find out very much about her. I listened to an interview, and in the interview, I don't think it's really a spoiler. They said Topanga is a lawyer, and that's how they can afford this gorgeous house in New York City when he's a teacher. They even make a joke about how he's a teacher and makes no money.
Yeah, which I thought was actually pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty timely. I like that.
Yeah.
And so I think we'll get more Topanga, but I'm curious how that'll play out, especially moving forward to other seasons.
Yeah.
So in this scene, one of the lines I liked was when Maya said that it's not the Civil War, it's the Civil Bore. That was very like Billy Madison.
She's good, man. She's the star of the show. 22 minutes in, Maya is the star of the show for me.
So apparently Maya tried out for the Riley role, and Riley tried out for the Maya role originally. And I can't see that working at all.
No, I don't know. I think her name's Sabrina Carpenter. Don't quote me on that. The Maya, she's a talented actress. I mean, she's young, but I mean, she seems to have good timing and good instincts. But yeah, I can't see Riley in the reverse ring at all.
Yeah, I don't think like Riley is that character that's in the pilot that's not in the rest of the show. I mean, she's going to be around.
Oh yeah.
And then we're also introduced in this scene to Farkle, which is clearly the new Minkus, right?
An updated 2014 Minkus, because I like, I'm going to jump ahead a little, I like that Farkle was both the genius, but also is the guy who's getting the two beautiful supermodels at the end of the episode in the subway. I do like that. Progressive on the Meets World.
Farkle's got a real threesome thing going on, because he's like in love with both Riley and Maya, and he's eating 2 lunches and then eating 2 desserts. It's a running theme with Farkle. I kept calling him Farkus, I think.
That's fine. I mean, I'm going to totally allow it. He had some really good moments, and at other times, like when he did the whole "Why I Love Riley, Why I Love Maya" thing, that was rough. But like you gotta give all these kids time to grow, I suppose.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Do you think we're headed for a plot twist where Farkle is Minkus's child?
Yeah, I spoiler alert, I think that's where it's going. I don't know if I have that 100% confirmed, but I think I've heard rumblings of that a couple times.
Oh, man. So I did not hear that. That was just me speculating. And, glad I'm right. Awesome.
Right on.
Kind of like adult for him to be talking about how he's in love with both of these women, I feel like. Watching this as a kid's show, I'm like, I don't know if I had like 10-year-old kids, if I'd want them like, thinking about that kind of stuff.
No, absolutely. I mean, that's, I think, the interesting thing. I think it's not where Boy Meets World was even from the pilot, but it's definitely further along than, I don't watch any other Disney Channel shows, but like the few times I've watched them with my niece, this was like leaps and bounds ahead of all those other ones in terms of content and in terms of like message. And that can either be a good thing or a bad thing, depending on how you're looking at it.
Yeah, I don't know how kid sitcoms are these days, but like that, I liked it. I guess it's kind of to bring in the older audience as well. But
yeah.
So then we get to our key kind of plot device in this episode, if you could say there's a plot device in Girl Meets World, and that is what are you going to fight for? Corey asked them what they're going to fight for, and they decide they're going to fight for no homework.
Reasonable.
That's a good thing to fight for. And Corey, like, I don't know if this was the first day of school. I couldn't tell if this was the first day of school or, like, the middle of the year. But
me neither. That's a great point. Sorry. Yeah.
Because they had homework coming into the class that she didn't do. And then they walk in and they're talking like this is a new teacher. So I don't know if this was a new year. I'm thinking it's supposed to be. It's just some of the writing didn't add up there. And Corey tells them they have to read the first 48 pages of a textbook.
In class!
And write a 3-page essay, which is, for a 7th grader, that's a lot to write. I don't want to write a 3-page essay.
Who reads 48 pages in class? That will take all of class. I didn't get that. But yeah, and actually, really good call. That is a major plot hole, that the whole first day versus not first day dilemma.
Yeah. So if
you
you're
ruined
watching,
Boy Meets World for me, Zach. Thanks.
if you're watching live, tweet using PS recaps and tell us if you think it was first day or not first day.
Yeah.
We'll take a listener poll and see at the end of this episode. So then they decide they're gonna walk out. They're gonna have like a strike on not doing homework, and they decide they're not gonna do that. And then Corey and Riley come home and both try to get Topanga to be on their side.
One of the best scenes, if not the best scene of the episode. It was Topanga felt like Topanga, Corey felt like Corey. I was like, this Riley might be, become a decent actress. I really enjoyed that scene. It was I think the first 10 minutes were really kind of weak, and we picked up right around there.
Yeah, I definitely think we picked up around there. My favorite scene actually was the very next scene after that. It was the first time that I laughed actually like really hard out loud, and that was when Riley and her brother were sitting at the bay window talking, and Riley, just like Corey would in the old Boy Meets World, was talking to herself about, what is her place in life, what is her purpose, and the brother starts saying, "Do bears know how to smile? Why is cake always so delicious?
So delicious.
And will my drawings ever get better?" I like burst out laughing. I thought that was hilarious.
We saw that was all we heard from the little brother, but like going off of that 30-second segment, he might also be a runaway star. That was hilarious.
That was great. I think the kid is going to be very, very funny. We don't have a name for him yet, do we?
It's Augie, I think. I think it's Augie. Mark Solera will get me probably.
Looking at IMDb, it's Augie Matthews.
Yeah. Interesting choice. But
I guess Topanga. She's gonna have a weird name for a kid.
Truth. Actually, I haven't thought about it that way. But yeah, the first scene where it really felt like Boy Meets World type writing too. Like those were Boy Meets World jokes. Like just totally random, meaningless things. But why is cake always so delicious? Is hilarious.
Yeah. That's great. I feel like I'm gonna start saying that.
Yeah. It's a great philosophical point.
Yeah, and do bears know how to smile? I don't know the answer to that. That's a great question as well.
Absolutely.
So then we're back at school, and before they go to class, we're in the lunchroom, and we get some Farkle, with his sloppy joes and chicken pot pie, and we see Lucas, and Riley's trying to figure out how to talk to Lucas. How long until Lucas and Riley do you think are meeting?
Episode 19 of a 23-episode order.
Oh, you think it's going to come at the end of the season?
Yeah, Corey and Topanga, by end of season 1, so yeah, same formula. Stick with
I think
winners.
we're going to get something around a school dance, and that's what's going to really kick it up for them, for their relationship.
People love the chase, Zach.
Yeah. That's true. I wonder how this is going to be, or maybe it'll be something different. Maybe it won't be as predictable, but probably.
I'm hoping they drag it out for 5 seasons before they even kiss.
Yeah, poor Farkle. He's not going to win in this.
I think they're already many a shipper for Maya and Farkle. Markle.
Yeah, if I'm going back and telling them who to pick, I'm saying Farkle's probably going to be the one who makes the most money when he gets older. He seems like a smart guy. He's pretty charming. That's who they should be picking. Lucas is going to be a burnout.
100%. Not even a question. A question.
And it's proven in the next scene. We're just gonna transition right to the next scene. Farkle walks in with that diorama. That thing is awesome.
Amazing. In my 24 years of schooling, I have never done anything close to Farkle's diorama.
No. Well done, Farkle. Again, Farkle, he's gonna be successful.
Did he light the sparklers when he went outside, or did he somehow find a way to find eternal flame? And those sparklers were sparkling from the night before.
Maybe he just snapped his finger, and he can also make fire along with being smart and charming.
He could have got Heroes Reborn. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So Maya decides that she's going to burn the homework, and that is going to be her big thing. That's kind of crazy. They're going to light a fire in a school this year in 2014. They're going to do that.
Corey, not a great teacher. Lets it go until right before she's already on the desk. She's already and he interjects right before imminent disaster.
Not before the classroom sprinklers go off.
Yeah. The sprinkler saved him. Shenanigans abound.
Yeah, and just the whole thing just gets, everybody runs out of the classroom. Maya's standing. I think Maya actually feels bad about what she did We see a little bit of character development there. Lucas asks Riley why she didn't stand up to Maya, and Riley says, that's not what she does anymore. She wants to be like Maya. And then Farkle jumps on Corey.
Did you like this? Because the first time I was like, blah. I watched it like an hour ago, and I actually was laughing audibly. I actually thought it was pretty good.
I couldn't figure out why he did that.
There was no reason, Zach. Don't overthink it.
I know. Don't ask why when we're watching the show, unless you're asking why is cake delicious. There's no reason to ever ask why when you're watching the show.
Yeah, no, like I said, I was not a fan of that the first time, but a lot was going on there. I thought that was funny. I thought the Riley Texas, where he's like, "You're better than that," was painfully forced, like cringe-worthy stuff.
Yeah.
But
how does he know she's better than that? He's known her for like he spent maybe an hour with her ever.
This thing on? Yeah, I mean, so that didn't work. But I thought the Maya Corey scene outside in the hallway was like really good and very Boy Meets World-esque in the sense that like it was like something that kids could watch and actually learn and grow from, not just
definitely.
Ridiculousness,
Yeah. And that was another time where it felt like it was, if this was Old Boy Meets World, this is right before we go to the commercial break, they have the kind of falling out. And did you notice when we're in the hallway that they're at John Quincy Adams Middle School, and they used to be John Adams.
What are the odds? What are the odds?
Yeah, seriously. I mean, if they do another spin-off of this, I don't know what president name they're going to use, though, because there are only the two.
Millard Fillmore is next.
Yeah. At that point, we're talking like, way down in the future. Maybe it's Barack Obama Middle School.
We can only dream.
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
So where are we after this? When we come back from the commercial break, are we back at home now? Are we coming back to the home?
We're either Subway first or we go home. I think we come back from break and it's Subway, right? And she's like, your dad's. Mr. Matthews is going to tell you to stop hanging out with me, I think.
Oh yeah, okay, yep. And Maya has the line, "You don't go as far as me." So I guess Maya lives in the mean streets. I don't know where she lives. You know New York better than me. If we're going to Brooklyn,
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we have to figure out where Maya lives. If anybody knows, let us know.
It's imperative.
Yeah. And then this is when we get the line. I think this is when we get the line of Riley being Riley. Is that right?
That was there. Yeah.
And on the subway, Riley tries to come back onto the train. No, she does come back onto the train by ripping the doors open, like she's Hulk Hogan or like the Incredible Hulk or something.
She's a Hulk.
Really. Yeah, any Hulk.
And then Jackie Harry was great there, sister with I don't think she said the word damn, but it was like, damn, that girl just opened the door. It's like it was actually pretty good stuff.
Yeah, I know that subways are different in New York than they are in DC, but here in DC, like our metro, when the doors close, it's not like an elevator door. Like that thing will close on your arm if you don't look out.
No, Zach, they're the same. They're the same. Yeah.
So Riley is like super strong.
Which is something Corey never was. Even that one time he was on the wrestling team, he was still a weakling. So this is definitely a plot device that will be implemented in future years.
I can't wait till she's like picking up cars. It's gonna be fantastic.
Absolutely.
So what happens after? She takes Maya back to their house, right?
Yes, which I thought was another really good scene. One of the stronger ones of the episode. So.
Yeah. So we get back to the house, and that's kind of where we start having our resolution.
Yeah.
And we get the family talking about what's going on and how Riley wants to make the world hers, and Corey tries to tell her that she's doing that, but you have to be a good kid about that. You can't cause trouble.
Yeah, nice stuff. And again, from the very, very little I know, other Disney shows don't really do this. It's just 22 minutes of Farkle jumping on Corey's back. So I think these are positive strides that this show will at least be a little different from the pack.
Yeah, and I feel like it kind of, these last, 10 minutes or so, it was a lot of, kind of nothing really happening, just a lot of talking and like, oh, I'm mad at you, but oh, okay, it's better now, right? Like, there wasn't a lot of substance that happened during this section, right?
No, that is absolutely true. But again, like we said at the top, the plot was, super thin to begin with here.
Yeah.
For this one. So it was almost to be expected.
So then we get our resolution, and Riley is rewarded with a subway pass, all of her own.
how she was on the subway prior. Uh,
I mean, maybe Maya's really that bad of an influence that she's like hopping over the turnstile and stuff.
I mean, I won't be surprised. But yeah, no, I mean the end scene was nice. Again, Texas with what do you think it was a rabbit and it was a rat or something.
No, he thought it was a pony. He said, "Oh, they have ponies here." That was weird.
Yeah, he needs some work, that kid.
And I think Farkle was there too. Like everybody seems to be at this like Subway MetroCard giving ceremony.
Subway is Chubby's right now, at least. Like, yeah. I guess, which is a little much. It's far more unrealistic than Chubby's just being Chubby's again. Yeah, cutesy family stuff at the end.
Why couldn't Subway just be a Subway? Like, we need a restaurant, Maybe we could just do both.
Especially with the loss of Community, I could have absolutely used Subway being Subway.
Yeah, Subway, like Riley being Riley, we have Subway being Subway.
Indeed.
And then the part that I thought was just going to be an Easter egg, but then it turned out to be part of the plot. We saw Mr. Feeney in the background.
Yeah, I just when that rumor came out a couple months ago. And as I kind of read more and more, I thought it was just going to be that poster that he's standing in front of. But very cool. And if they don't reference Boy Meets World in any large capacity again until the Christmas episode when I know Sean and the parents are coming in, that's a nice little feather for all of us.
Oh man, you must have read the Girl Meets World books, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna host like a Girl Meets World book club every week.
We can only dream.
I thought it was just going to be in the background. And I said to my friend, I was like, look, it's Mr. Feeney. It's Mr. Feeney. And she didn't see it. But then we come back and we get this shot where Corey and Mr. Feeney kind of have the moment together.
Yeah, which was nice, didn't you think?
Oh yeah, I thought that was great. I wonder if we're going to see. Do you think we're going to see Mr. Feeney in the flesh?
We'll see. He's up there in age, but it would be cool. But at the same time, even like the last scene of Boy Meets World is so fantastic. I almost want to leave Mr. Feeney alone. Like this was cool, but maybe that should do it.
The last scene of Boy Meets World was when he said "class dismissed," right?
Yeah. It's like the all-time tearjerker of life.
Yeah. Oh man, seriously. I'm curious, and this is a kids show, so probably not. And I'm a little darker. I wonder if we're gonna get like a Mr. Feeney funeral episode.
Possibly. I mean, I'm hoping no, because I'm hoping that William Daniels, who plays Mr. Feeney, lives forever. So there would be no reason to ever do one. But it's possible, and under the right circumstances, I wouldn't be against it. If the show matures, especially as I hope it will, absolutely in the realm.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can get some really good lessons. I think it'll be interesting because Boy Meets World was the lessons of kind of our growing up and our childhood. And Girl Meets World can be the lessons of like the next generation. Like, oh, you posted that picture to Facebook, you can't do that. Things like that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I hope that's what the show becomes, quite honestly.
Yeah. How many seasons do you think this show's going to go?
I think I'll max it out at 4.
4, really? Okay.
Yeah, I think that's the typical length. I think for a current age Disney Nickelodeon type show.
Yeah, I mean the original Boy Meets World went 7 years? Yeah. So I don't think this is going to be as successful as the original Boy Meets World. So I think probably 2, but maybe as many as 5. It just depends on how well it finds its groove.
Yeah, no, it will get this whole first year run. Disney's not going to cancel it. It's been great for press and whatnot. Even with it not seeming like it's been like a year leading up to this. But yeah, I mean, 4 is my max, and I won't be shocked if it only goes to.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about who this show is marketed at.
Yeah.
Because if it's marketed at people like us who loved Boy Meets World and who grew up watching Boy Meets World, it's on Disney Channel. I mean, it's like really bright and like a kid's show. I feel like if they wanted to make a show that was for us and about kids or about people our age, that they should have made it on ABC and made it about Corey, not about Riley.
No, absolutely. I think there's going to be, granted, the pilot's everywhere at this point, but I think there's going to be a lot of people who just know that this is happening and are going to probably watch it tomorrow, like people get with their buddies, like, hey man, let's watch Girl Meets World, season Corey Topanga, and they're going to be incredibly disappointed tomorrow.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
I feel like that's. I mean, had I not like been on this podcast with you, I probably wouldn't have watched the episode a second time.
Yeah.
And I just, yeah, I'm a little worried about that. And the kids that are watching on Disney Channel, they don't know what Boy Meets World is. Maybe they'll go back and watch the old Boy Meets World episodes after if they really like their show. But it's just kind of I feel like it's kind of weird, the idea behind it. But I did love at the end of the episode seeing the the ending was the same as the Boy Meets World.
Yeah. No, I'm the same way. I think, Zach, for people our age, like, I'll probably stick with this show for a couple months no matter what. I'm a huge fan of the original. But I think for people our age, the key will be to make sure that you have enough Corey and Topanga and to make sure that they're acting like Corey and Topanga. My biggest flaw with the episode is I feel like a lot of times Ben Savage was trying to act like Corey instead of just acting like Corey, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I don't know what he's done since Boy Meets World, but you think acting like Corey would be something he's good at.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think, again, though, that's to your point, that's kind of a product of being on Disney instead of ABC. It's like I think he's got maybe a little more restriction. He's probably got Corey towards the end of Boy Meets World was quite raunchy in many ways. You can't do that on Disney. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. But that for me is the number one imperative is to make sure that Corey and Topanga act like Corey and Topanga.
Yeah. So let's. I think we're ready for questions now, and I know we've got a couple that have come in using the hashtag PS Recaps, and a couple that have come in on the post show recaps chat room and YouTube video as well. So let's go ahead and take some of those questions. So the first question is it's from Megan Z, and she tweeted, "Where does Girl Meets World theme song rank in your power rankings of the 3 different Boy Meets World theme songs?"
Do you remember?
Ryan, you're the expert.
Yeah,
I remember it's Boy Meets World, that one.
Yeah, that's
and then
the
there's this one.
Yeah. There's also there was season 1 Boy Meets World theme song, which is just so that's 4th, and then there's season 4, which is I think equally as iconic as the one which is boom 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 boom. I hope we're not getting sued, by the way. But I will go a tie, season 4 and season 5 through 7 Boy Meets World, Girl Meets World theme, and then season 1 Boy Meets World. That's the list. That's the list.
I actually completely agree with your analysis. I think that's great. I still think, Boy Meets World, a great theme song. I still think Step by Step was the best of kind of that era theme songs.
Family Matters and a Runaway, but that might be another discussion for another time.
I think that might be another discussion. I don't want to get too much into that. Mark Solera wants to know, is Mr. Feeney dead? He showed up like a ghost, or showed up as a ghost like Sean's dad did during the finale. No, I don't think Mr. Feeney's dead.
I hope not. I mean, I'm not emotionally prepared for such a bombshell.
Yeah. No, I think that we would know about that, and also they wouldn't have him die before the show starts because we would want to have the Mr. Feeney funeral episode, which I really think we're gonna get.
Yeah, and I'm cautiously optimistic, although my heart is already in stitches.
Yeah. So our next question is from Alex Wilpon. Oh, she knows what the older women said. They said you're slouching, Maya.
There you go.
Oh, I guess that is because then she stood up and all right, yeah, I guess that must be what she said. I'm a little disappointed. That's what they said.
You're always for more.
Mark Solera again. He said, "Is it just him or is Finkel base?" It's Farkas actually.
Come on, Mark.
Farkas, come on. Is Farkas basically Eric and Minkus put together? No, I think he's just Minkus. He's just. My friend who I watched this with was saying how he's really not very nerdy looking, and I think that's right. I feel like if I was in school with Farkas, he would have been like the coolest kid in school.
Yeah, he's the man.
Yeah.
But it will be interesting to see where they take him. Like, is he going to be a nerd or is he going to be which is this nerd Fabio, not Survivor Fabio hybrid? We'll find out.
Yeah, I think maybe there will be some like love triangle stuff going. It depends on how adult if they want to get real adult with this, which I think they should. They can get some cool like love triangle stuff going on.
What this show has working for it, Zach, is that these kids I think are going to get older.
Well, I mean that would require it being on longer than 4 years. Then 4 years is
yeah,
not 4 years is not that long.
no, but I mean, let's just say, real quick, if they're 13, 4 years, they'll be 17. Like, Boy Meets World ended with them being like 19, 20. So you never know. But, like, it's got to get off Disney. No matter how long, it could be on for 20 years, and, like, they'll be 30, and, like, they'll still be throwing paper airplanes on Disney.
Yeah, I feel like that was a mistake. But I think they should have put it on ABC, made it like like the Goldbergs and some of the sitcoms that are on ABC. I think more people would have tuned in. They would have. I just think the show would be a lot more successful if it was marketed at people who liked Boy Meets World and wanted to see the continuation of that story. I don't think the average 30, 35-year-old is going to tune into the Disney Channel on Friday nights.
No, especially on Friday nights, nor should they, really.
No.
I mean, like, we're not going to go into depth on it, but it is a little puzzling. Like, Boy Meets World was a hit. It was on 7 years. It did very good numbers. Surprising that they went the Disney route as opposed to ABC or even ABC Family.
And Boy Meets World had a really good rerun lifespan too. My roommate in college would watch it like every night on I don't know, it was on ABC Family or whatever.
It's still on 3 different channels. It's still on. Yeah, I mean, it hasn't gone anywhere. So it's a surprising decision. But I mean, I guess you make the decision. It's a kids show and you stick with it.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any coming back from that. I don't think they can move it to ABC. I think it's on Disney.
So. No, and which is unfortunate because that's the wiggle room Boy Meets World had because it was a kids show, but because it was on ABC, it was allowed to mature and become, it wasn't like ever like a serious drama, but it could go there every now and again. This show maybe never will.
And maybe they're trying to get kids and their parents to watch this together, but I just don't think the market for the people who watch Boy Meets World have kids this age yet because they weren't Corey and Topanga.
No, I agree.
So next question, Rachel Wagner. The show had so much heart that it made up for its corniness. Wondering if that type of thing has appeal now for kids.
I hope so. I mean, like, aren't we just like living in a world of despair and debauchery? If not, like, I hope kids I hope kids like this stuff.
I mean, I feel like kids don't like this. This had the feel of like the 5 minutes of the Hannah Montana show that I've seen and some of the other Disney Channel shows. I think that it works. I don't know if kids are gonna get all the references to Boy Meets World.
The little I know, I was also a huge fan, literally, not even joking, of iCarly, which I just thought was a great comedy. But and I mean, but like it was off the wall, and it was not. I mean, it was for kids, but if you really watched it, it wasn't like a lot of crude, inappropriate stuff that like just slipped through the cracks. Like this show is not going to be that, but it's also like we've been saying, not going to be classic Boy Meets World. So they have to find the right middle ground. But I'm worried that like this day and age's kid might not respond to that middle ground.
It might not wait. I mean, this day and age's kid is probably on an iPad playing a game too. I don't know any kids that are in 7th grade, so I shouldn't judge. But
yeah, I don't know any kids.
So the next question or next comment, Alex Wilpon says the show will air normally from 8:30 to 9 on Fridays starting July 11th.
That's better.
Yeah.
That's better.
Weird again that they're premiering it tomorrow. They premiered it online, then they're premiering it tomorrow, and then they're gonna have it not on for 2 weeks.
I get the online release. At the same time, though, at least this pilot episode, there was going to be so many people like me and you. I think with a better time slot on a different day, they could have had a one-night event. It would not have carried over. It would have just been kids the next episode, but a little iffy for me on Disney's part to kind of usher this out the way they did.
Yeah, no, it's weird. I guess if you work marketing and TV production for Disney, I think that you would have a good sense of this, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, so Mark Solera says, do you guys think the major issue with the negative reception of the show is that people want this to be Boy Meets World 2.0 instead of giving it a chance to stand alone?
Yeah, well, the major issue is that there are no kids who are going to be making comments about the negative aspects of the show because they're not going to be on Girl Meets World or Boy Meets World message boards saying, this show is not what I thought it was going to be. The major issue is that we are 20 and 30-year-olds, watching a show created for 12 and 13-year-olds and hoping it's more, that might just be, something we can't get past.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm glad they brought back Boy Meets World. I think there's a lot of '90s sitcoms they could have done spin-offs of. I heard somebody suggest the other day that they should have a show called Royal Flush that is a follow-up to Full House. But
I was talking to Seshmino a couple weeks ago that I think they could just bring back Full House outright. It would be the #1 show on television, and we would be off to the races.
The same actors or different actors?
Same actors, just whatever season they ended on. Full House season 9. Start it tomorrow. It would be the number. It would pair it with Modern Family, and you would have a hit.
Yeah, I actually, and I don't remember who said it, but I heard an interview with somebody, and they said what they should start doing when they have these like benefits, when there's like an earthquake or some kind of disaster, and they try to raise a bunch of money, is instead of having like a benefit call-in show, they should have old sitcoms have a reunion show, and all the money, so have a Seinfeld reunion, and it's just like an episode where it's Where Are They Now, or like a Full House, Where Are They Now?
That'd be awesome, actually.
I mean, there's a lot of shows I would like to be like, oh, well, that's what they're doing. All right, that's cool. Step by step. I keep talking about step by step because I'm a big step by step fan.
Day by day, man. No, but yeah, that's actually an awesome idea. And real quick to Mark's point, I think people need to let this stand on its own. And I mean, for me, my best case scenario is that every couple of Fridays when me and my buddies possibly are home on a Friday night and watch this show, if we get 8 minutes of good Corey and Topanga, I can live with the 12 to 13 minutes of cheesy teenage stuff that I won't laugh at.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be watching it live on Fridays, but I probably will watch it either online or on demand or on an app. So
yeah,
I'd like to keep up with it and see where they go with it. I think there's definitely potential.
Yeah.
So the next comment from Alex Wilpon, she says that Farkle is Minkus' son. So I guess that question has been answered. Cool. I'm all right with that.
I'm not all right with it.
No?
I'm fine with it. Yeah. No, it should be good. I wonder how much we see Minkus.
I think we see him a lot. I think I heard that he's going to be in this show, and I think I've seen him in movies and stuff before too.
He's worked. He was actually on a show I liked for a long time. He's you wouldn't know he's grown up, as you may imagine. But solid actor, and I wonder. My only question would be, and obviously, Corey can see the last names on the call sheet. I hope it's not like you're Minkus' son. What a shocker! I just hope Minkus shows up one episode and he's in the thick of things.
Yeah, I don't really understand how that's going to work though, because I assumed Farkle was his last name and Minkus is Minkus' last name, so I don't know how that's going to work.
Farkle Minkus.
Farkle is Minkus. Minkus is Farkle.
I know. He's friends of Topanga. I think Farkle Minkus is a very common name. I just met a Farkle Minkus at the 7-Eleven minutes ago.
I feel like Farkle Minkus could be your fantasy football name next year.
Oh, that's actually a quality suggestion.
That reminds me of I know you're into from Girl Meets World. Who would your #1 pick be?
You cut out there for a second, real quick. Just real. What was
Who
that?
would your #1 pick be if you had a fantasy draft of Girl Meets World cast?
Well, it'd be Corey Matthews would be my first-round draft pick for all things life, essentially. Although passing on Topanga is quite the difficulty.
And who are you selling? Who are you not drafting?
Lucas is. He needs some work.
I think I'm drafting the little brother. I think he's got a lot of upside, and I'm not drafting. Probably Lucas. I don't think he's very good.
I'm hoping I can get Maya late second round, and she just wins me my league. All jokes aside, I think she's gonna be a really good actress. That girl. So we'll see.
Yeah. All right. I don't know how many more questions we have, but this one's from Rachel Wagner. Could it have been Maya's first day? I guess it could have been. I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
She had homework too. No. Zach, you uncovered the. I mean, it was just with poor writing. They probably changed that script 29.5 times. So we'll give them a pass.
All right, and last question from Mark Solera. Who do you guys want to come back from Boy Meets World? I keep seeing BMW and thinking Blood versus Water Survivor, but Boy Meets World. Who do you want?
Everyone, but if you had to make me really narrow it down, I am a huge Jack Hunter fan, Sean's brother. It just that would be like one of my sleepers, and I just think Matt Lawrence, really funny cat, and I would be all about that.
I like the roommate that they lived with in college, the female roommate.
Rachel, yeah.
Yeah, Rachel. And I don't remember what his name was, but he was the curly-haired teacher who got in the motorcycle accident that disappeared.
Mr. Turner, yeah.
Yes, Mr. Turner. Yeah, I feel like we never got resolution on that, so I wouldn't mind if he came back either.
I think that's rumored to happen, so we'll see. If this thing goes long enough, they'll be bringing back Janitor Bud.
What are anybody from the original Boy Meets World except the bullies? I feel like those guys actually have a career, but other than that, I don't think anybody from Boy Meets World is really doing much.
I think you're right. Yeah, no. There's Topanga has had a pretty decent career, but like she's already on this show. So yeah, there's no one else of note to speak of, quite frankly. Yeah.
So. All right. Well, we'll keep watching Girl Meets World, and I guess if it gets interesting, maybe we'll be back to recap some of the more interesting episodes and the developments. Hopefully, it gets really crazy and twisted, right?
Oh, I mean, we can only hope. But no, this was a fun first effort, and like I said, I think it has potential to get better, and hopefully get better quickly.
Yeah, I feel like once I got past the colors, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Nothing in life is that colorful.
I see no color, Zach. I see no color.
Yeah. So if you are continuing on post-show recaps, actually starting right after we go off the air, Taylor and Jessica Leese are going to be coming up with their latest recap of Orange is the New Black, and there are 3 episodes that they are on now. And of course, post-show recaps is always the place for your favorite recaps of scripted TV shows. I know Rob and Josh will be talking about HBO's new show, The Leftovers, on Sunday. Are you gonna watch that, Ryan?
Oh, I can't wait. Creator of Lost, director of Friday Night Lights, sign me up.
Oh, I think it's gonna be awesome. I've heard good things. I'm very excited about The Leftovers. Almost as excited as I am about episode 2 of Girl Meets World.
It's neck and neck for me, man. But I know Leftovers is gonna be awesome. I'm a big Daniel Lindelof fan. Can't wait.
So, thanks for joining us for this recap of Girl Meets World, Episode 1. I'm Zach Brooks. You can find me on Twitter at BrooksZA.
I'm Ryan, at Twitter at Ryan Pappolla, bandcamp.ryanpappolla.com if you want to hear me rap.
Oh, man. I'm going to go to that right now. Yeah. Thanks for joining us. Use the hashtag PSRecaps to send your comments and feedback, and we'll catch you next time.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Thanks.